What's up, guys? It's Zero here, bringing you all a brand new episode of The Dark Zone. Welcome, guys, to The Dark Zone. This is episode number 4 of The Dark Zone, where we talk about everything in the world of gaming, give you guys some insight into what it all means. My good buddy, Jeff, alongside me once again for this episode of this Dark Zone. What's up, Jeff?
What's happening, party people?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm in a great mood for the past couple of days. It's been a good past week for me.
You've been keeping pretty busy?
Yeah, I've been keeping pretty busy trying to get my sleep schedule fixed to morning shift so I can spend more time here and then finally get back streaming, which I'll talk at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. Yeah. Well, guys, we've got a loaded show. We've got a number of things that we want to talk about.
Oh boy, do we.
Yes, it is about to get spicy in here. And so excited about starting this out, guys. Okay, so with this first topic, you know, Jeff, you and I, we've talked on a number of occasions actually about the Far Cry universe. And, you know, Far Cry, it's definitely had like, you know,
it's ups and downs.
Yeah, just like any franchise pretty much. Well,
be honest, I'm a bigger fan of the spin-off games of Far Cry. Like,
are you?
Yeah, I loved Blood Dragon. I loved Primal. Primal being probably one of my favorite games of all time, but I'm biased because I like ancient creatures and stuff.
I liked Primal too, yeah.
New Dawn was interesting. I played it a little bit. I did enjoy like the apocalyptic aspect of it. I thought that was very cool. Not to mention it was just pretty much a direct sequel of the 5th game.
Yeah.
Which I think was what they were trying to do because Far Cry 5 was really successful. And he says, why don't we expand on this a little more? Instead of making Far Cry 6 connected to Far Cry 5, why don't we just, because they've never done that before. Right. Each Far Cry has had different characters, different villains, just same gameplay, which is fine. Yeah. That works. Far Cry does it pretty well.
Yeah, I loved Far Cry 5. I loved 3.
3, really good.
Wasn't that
Voss?
Yeah. They've done a great job with their villains.
Oh,
for sure. Well, anyways, Jeff, there was
one of them had Gus Fring.
Yeah.
He did such a good job as him.
And the newest one, 6, was Giancarlo Esposito was the main villain in that one.
Yeah, it was more of like
what was it? Well, I forget his name actually.
I forget the name, but I remember the premise of just this dictator.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah, and I think that I liked Far Cry 5. I think Far Cry 5, actually, I got to play it again because I think that the 5th one was probably my favorite, just from like a lore, just kind of like, and we talk about like the whole cult setting with the Seed family.
I enjoyed like the aspect that it's in the U.S.
Yeah.
Because usually
wasn't it like Montana?
Yeah, it was like Montana, yeah. So it was interesting to see like them take an aspect out of the U.S. era and the crazy people that live in the South.
Yeah. It was absolutely unreal. Well, anyways, they're following up Far Cry 6 with what looks to be a leak came out, and it's called code name or whatever. They're saying Far Cry 7 Rise, and apparently this is going to be a New England setting.
Ooh.
Wealthy family called the Bennetts, who are they're engaged in like a power struggle similar to. Do you ever see the show Succession?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of like. Everybody within this family is trying to figure out who is going to be the successor. They run like in Succession, the show, they run like all of these, they have like an amusement park empire. They own a bunch of amusement parks, and the family, as their father is aging, is trying to figure out who's going to be the successor to him after he passes away. So it sounds like it's similar with this game. You have this wealthy family that is engaging in like a significant power struggle. Set in New England.
That's gonna be interesting.
Really interesting.
Like an urban area. That's gonna be weird.
It started right. We talked about Far Cry 5. It kind of reminds me of this, you know, like this. Well, in Far Cry 5, you had the family, right? The Seed family. Now that was very much so cultish. I don't know how.
I imagine this is gonna be more gangster affiliated.
Yeah, something.
Some sort of gang, some sort of clubs or whatever.
Right.
What year is this going to take place in?
I'm not sure.
Ooh, okay.
I didn't get that yet.
Well, they've always kind of gone with like the modern aspect of Far Cry, except for Primal, obviously, because caveman. But yeah, they've always seemed to like stick with like this could happen today, type situation, which I like. I do like that, except for like I said, Primal and Blood Dragon.
Yeah. Well, the other, just from hearing about it, I probably wouldn't have as much of an opinion about it if we didn't already have a game like Far Cry 5, which had like this family and they're all like twisted, sick in the head,
Yeah.
created this really interesting story. So I'm actually really excited to, if this leak comes true, a lot of people are saying that this is pretty legit. You know, New England, I'm down.
Yeah.
Wealthy family, they're having these issues internally. It
Yeah.
should be really interesting.
I think it'll be pretty good.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if they're going to try to follow it up from Far Cry 6, or are they trying to go back to like following after the nuke in Far Cry 5? I don't know when they're doing, like exactly what they're
They
thinking
usually
here.
don't when it comes to the next Far Cry
I know,
game.
it's
They
usually
always-
totally separate.
It's usually totally separate, except for I think 5 had Voss in it or something as a cameo.
In 5? I thought that was 6.
No, yeah, sorry, 6. Yeah, it's 6.
The son?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the son, but I know Voss was in the game.
Well, I thought it was the kid, wasn't it?
No, that's not
That-
Voss.
Or what was it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
But I distinctly.
Oh, it was like there was a bunch of people who broke it down like the kid was Voss, but then, and that was like in the trailers or early trailers for 6 or something, because it
But
was right
then-
next to John
and then we
Carlo.
see Voss with a freaking beard in
Oh,
the
yeah.
game.
Yeah,
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 so
yeah.
everyone just like everyone thought it was gonna be Voss, but like no, that's not him. But here is him, just off the side, and he's actually not fucking crazy.
Yeah. I'm excited about it for sure.
Wasn't there a spin-off game that they did where you get to play as all the villains?
In Far Cry?
Yeah, I distinctly remember seeing something where you play as Joseph Seed, Pagan Min, and Voss. I distinctly remember something like that.
No shit.
I don't remember what it
know.
was called, but I remember seeing like a couple like seconds of gameplay of it. I think it was DLC.
Oh, was it?
for-
Okay, yeah. Maybe.
I think it was a DLC for
I think you're right.
6, maybe. I don't remember.
I haven't played it. I didn't play the DLC. For
I didn't
sure.
play 6. I didn't play 6. I played a bit.
Oh,
of
you
fi-
didn't play 6 at all?
No, I didn't play 6.
No?
at all. I
Okay.
played 5.
Okay.
I played a lot of 5 because I liked it, and I did play,
5 was for sure
Good.
way better than 6. But 6, I would say, because I think it's on Game Pass, it's actually pretty good. Like, I mean, it's not as good as 5.
Yeah,
Like,
I enjoyed 5 because cheeseburger. I love cheeseburger, man. I
yeah.
love them.
5 was really good.
It had some really funny moments in 5. Like there were really good ones, but 3 will always be my favorite out of the Far Cry
3
games.
was really good, man. Yeah, 3 was
It was so good.
it was incredible. Well, this leads me with Far Cry 7 Rise or Far Cry 7 or whatever. There was also a part of the leak that came out outside of like the setting that this is going to be the first time that they're introducing an extraction multiplayer. Which I was like, I don't know. I always said like that. I always felt that Far Cry should have some form of multiplayer because I mean, like you look at the weapons.
It's always had co-op.
It's always had co-op, yeah. But I always felt like, they could. I just thought that there was like a missed opportunity with
Yeah.
like having some form of
I can see it working if it's separate from the main game.
right.
Because you already have co-op, like 2-player co-op. That's pretty much all you need when it comes
Yeah.
to a Far Cry game. But a separate game would be not a separate game, but like a separate side thing to do on the side would be fun.
Do you think it should be like a free to play, or do you think that I mean, it's Ubisoft, so
It's
I'm
Ubisoft.
feeling like they
so
probably
they'll put a
they'd-
price tag on
they
it.
probably have to because of the
Yeah.
downfall of X Defiant and stuff.
Man, that's still such a disappointment.
Yeah, I know for sure.
It had such
I mean,
potential.
I'm interested. What is with all the extraction multiplayers lately?
I don't know. I think with the rise of DMC coming back and the success of a lot of other extraction multiplayers like Escape from Tarkov, I think that was when it really started like bumping up is when Escape of Tarkov came out,
yeah,
because that was such a good like extraction shooter. And then even though Hunt came out before that, it just didn't compare.
I like Hunt more than Escape from Tarkov.
I love Hunt.
I think Tarkov, dude. I just like I've played it. I'm like, dude, this is I don't know. It's not really for me.
It's very immersive, and I
Yeah.
love that. Like you have to pay attention to everything.
You're talking about Tarkov right now?
No, I'm talking about Hunt.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, yes.
Hunt, you gotta pay attention to birds flying away, branches snapping, people crouching in bushes. In one thing I've noticed that Hunt does extremely well, better than any other multiplayer shooter, is the the enemy characters can blend in seamlessly to the background. Because usually when you like, I'm pretty sure you've noticed, but you probably will as soon as I tell you, is whenever you're playing against other players in a shooter, you can always kind of tell if they're an actual player. Is the best way to describe it. Like, you can always tell it's a different between NPCs
Yeah.
because like it's just the shape of the model. You can always kind of see a small outline of it or whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Hunt doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So they're just easily blending into darkness, bushes, everything.
Yeah, and there's some really good players on that game.
Yeah, it's very... And another fun thing I like is that you have to manually reload.
Yeah.
You can't... As soon as you run out of your mag, it doesn't automatically reload for you. You have to manually reload.
Yeah.
And since most of the guns are from the 1860s or 1870s or 1880s, a lot of them don't have mags. So a lot of them have to reload individual bullets or have a revolver with a speed loader. But again, if you reload with the speed loader and you still have bullets in your chamber, you lose those bullets.
Yeah. I really, like I said, I like Hunt way more than, and you know what though? It's probably
and
because
they did recently, I think like a year ago, they bumped up their stuff to like, what's the term? They bumped it up to Unreal Engine 5.
Hunt Showdown.
Yeah. It was like a Hunt Showdown 1886.
1886. Yeah.
Yeah, they just bumped it up to.
Well, what's cool about it is, and I've liked Hunt a lot more than Escape from Tarkov, but the guy, I think probably part of the reason why I like Hunt more is because Crytek are the ones who made it, and Crytek are the guys who did the Crysis games.
Yeah.
And Crysis, I always liked it. You know, growing up, I really liked those games on the 360.
You can tell when they care about a game. Like, seriously, I love Hunt. The only thing I'll complain about it is there's not a lot of main bounties. There's the main three: Butcher, Spider, Scrapbeak, and they did one special for Post Malone during like his murder circus or whatever it was called. It was like a Siamese bear type thing. It was freaking gnarly.
Are they still doing that one?
No.
Okay.
I don't know if the bear is just in like the cycle of characters or whatever, but I haven't seen it since.
Yeah.
And then there's two side hunts, which is like a gator, electric gator. It's weird. And then you have this giant immolator, which is like, it shoots like giant fireballs and mortars. And fire is very dangerous in that game. Like, that's one of the worst things to happen to is when you get burned, because then you lose maximum health.
Yeah.
And that just sucks.
Yeah, no, I'm all in for, you know, at least seeing what they can do with a, you know, Far Cry Extraction multiplayer. Who knows? It could be something interesting. I'm more excited about the single player story and the co-op for sure.
I might watch it because I'm not a big Far Cry fan. I might watch it because if it takes place in New England, it piques my interest. That alone just piques my interest. If it's on Game Pass, I'll definitely play it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, the question is for all you guys: what do you guys think about Far Cry 7? What are your thoughts about, you know, Far Cry as a franchise at this point in time? And are you guys excited about, you know, this current setting to the multiplayer and things of that nature? Let us know down in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. So some huge news that happened in the world of gaming here this past week. The Nintendo Switch Direct practically broke the internet for a period of time.
Yeah, it was split down the middle between like people being very excited for it and people being very annoyed with it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it because, so we got the Nintendo Switch 2. Let's kind of start there. So before we start going into like price and stuff like that, Jeff, let's talk the Switch 2 as a whole. I do I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say
about time Nintendo finally put their foot back in the race.
Yeah. And it does look like an upgrade to me.
Oh yeah. Without a doubt. It looks amazing. I do enjoy the bigger screen.
Yep.
I enjoy the bigger storage, especially, and I definitely enjoy the
game chat.
No, It's bootleg Discord. It looks so bad.
Yeah, it
But
looks
at least they
terrible.
were honest with people saying, yeah, this is gonna suck, but at least now you have it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's a bad thing for, like, especially if you have kids and Nintendo Switch, you know what I mean? It's like one of those things, like they said there's going to be parental controls on it, but I could see that being a big issue. Like,
yeah.
you know, like,
Well, they've always had parental controls, both for the DS and the Switch.
yeah,
And all it does is take a parent just to download the app, put in their Nintendo Switch account that's on the device, and then just
make it so that they can't
Yeah.
access it or whatever.
yeah, make sure they can ask certain functions. I did enjoy a lot of the other stuff that they implemented that
The
are part-
the Joy-Con's magnetic now.
Yeah, the Joy-Con's magnetic now. I still think that little thing on the end is going to break easily.
Which one?
Okay, so if you open
The C button?
No, not the C button. If you pull out the Joy-Con, there's a little like plug for where the controller can like slot in and charge, and it's very small and it looks very thin. And it looks like it's gonna snap like a twig.
You know what? Because I was going to bring up, I think when they're using it as a mouse,
Yeah.
it's going to break. I like, at least from the way I'm when I saw some people that were actually like, they had some like testers or whatever,
Yeah.
and they were testing it. I was like, dude, I don't know if it's going to be that durable.
I think it's cool as a concept.
It's
I'll
cool,
have to wait to see what games can work with it, because
Yeah.
they showed off the basketball wheelchair game, which if you've seen that sport in real life, it's actually a very cool sport to watch. Like they go hard on that sport, and it actually does look like a fun game to play with friends. And I do like that this is the game. It's like Arms, but for the Switch too.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for certain people who like sports games.
Yep.
And
The LED is going to be larger.
yeah, the screen's a lot bigger.
Yeah.
They also showed off with the mouse controls for the Metroid game,
Yeah.
that you can actually use the Metro game, the mouse function for the Metro game, which I think will be cool, because then they can bring over more first-person games to the Switch too.
Yeah.
Which, especially since they're bringing over a lot of good games to the Switch too.
Yeah. I think, yeah, to me at least, it seems like an upgrade. I know some people are like, oh, it's not that much of an upgrade. No, no, no. I mean, it's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade for sure.
I mean, 8 times the storage. That alone is an upgrade to me.
That's a huge upgrade. Like,
8 times the storage, 4K docked, which is amazing. 1060p undocked, which is, I think, is as powerful as the Steam Deck, right?
I don't know if is it 1060?
I don't know about this. I don't
The
know much
Steam
about,
Deck?
I don't know
I'm
much
not
about the
sure.
Steam Deck, but I know
Yeah.
it's on par with it. The only thing I thought I saw people complaining about the new stuff is the downgrade of the battery size,
Yeah.
which I don't know if they're going to fix that. It's still a while, especially since
It'll probably be like a separate thing that you can buy maybe separately. I don't know.
maybe, who knows. I do know they focused a lot more on the cooling aspect. Like the docking port has like a dedicated cooling fan, which
Yep.
is great.
Yeah.
Even though I've never owned a regular Switch, I just bought a Switch Lite, because half the time when I'm playing Pokemon games or Nintendo games in general, I'm
On the move.
I'm on the move, or I'm just chilling,
Yeah.
chill
Yeah.
on the couch.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think both of us were like, okay, yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 overall looks, it's definitely an upgrade, period. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we'll get to the price here shortly. Number 2, Mario Kart World.
I like it.
I do too. I think that Mario Kart World looks, I mean, I think it looks great. I mean, yeah, it's
It's
I would
basically
have preferred, I mean, they almost had to do Mario Kart World or Mario Kart or
they had to do something.
Mario Party, Super Mario Odyssey 2.
Well, they wouldn't do Mario Party because they just came out with Jamboree.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So coming out with Mario Kart World.
Speaking of Jamboree, did you see what they could do now with Jamboree and Mario Kart in general? Is that if you have the camera hooked up to the Switch 2, it will put your face next to your character to see your actual reaction, which I think is diabolical.
I didn't see that. Wait, did they have it at the Direct?
They had it at the
Did they?
Direct, yeah. I was like, the first thing that I came was like, okay, now I can just shit talk my friends playing Mario Party, and they can see my reaction when I steal a star from them.
Oh
Because
my
as
God.
much as people like to say Mario Kart is a kid's game, it is. But man, when adults play it, the hate comes out. There's nothing more spiteful than taking someone's star with a boo bell, because you're just like, I'm just want to screw you over.
Yeah. I would say that Mario Kart World, it does look like, once again, it feels like the Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
2. It feels like an upgrade, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like an upgrade. The graphics look good. I
The
mean, it
cast
does.
of characters
It's
is
not
great.
like mind-blowing graphics to me. But it's like the colors are vibrant,
Oh, yeah.
bright. I mean, it looks like an upgrade.
Yeah, not to mention they added in a bunch of new like ways to drive around. Like you can wall ride,
Yeah.
grind on rails. I think that's very cool.
Yeah.
Not to mention the cast of characters that they added in. You can play as a crab, not the shark, the cow from Moo Moo Meadows, which is like arguably the best track in the game series. At least the most well known.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. The only thing that I could say that's not needed is the outfit styles. I don't think that's needed, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
If the outfits are earnable and not purchasable, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see a lot of interesting new items too that they added into like the item blocks.
Yeah, they added a lot.
They added a golden shell that where if you once you fire it, it leaves a trail of coins behind it. I think I know Kamek's got an item. I don't know what it is. Maybe it'll function like the boo, but the boo just steals stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say that besides obviously Nintendo Switch 2 is going to take the focal point, but Mario Kart World, and there was one other game that, at least to me, but that I kind of want to round this out. I mean, we could talk about Donkey Kong and stuff like that, but to round it out.
Speaking of Donkey Kong, the last open world Donkey Kong game was 30 years ago or some shit.
What? So is it confirmed open world?
Yes.
Okay. I missed that part of the
It's
direct.
from the same people who made Odyssey.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Same people who made Odyssey.
Okay. Now you've piqued my interest.
The thing is also like people were saying like why is there no Diddy Kong? It's because Diddy Kong is owned by Rare Studios.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's why Donkey Kong hasn't been able to make games recently, is because of that reason. The last Donkey Kong game I think was like Donkey Kong Country Returns, which was Nintendo and Rare.
So now with this Donkey Kong, this is what that developer's been working on.
Yep.
They haven't been working on a sequel to Super Mario Odyssey.
Not to mention, in general, as an IP, they redesigned Donkey Kong. Like
Sweet.
He looks a lot more like he did in the Super Mario movie. Like it looks very inspired by that, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. Like he looks good.
Yeah, as long as he looks good. And I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm excited about. I mean, I'm excited about it, but
I know
now that I know that the developer, who was the developer? I'm trying to remember who the developer was for
Odyssey.
For Odyssey,
Yeah.
I forget. But anyways, now that I know that, it's piqued my interest.
Yeah, as soon as I heard that like Donkey Kong got a redesign, I was like, okay, so they're probably gonna make a new Donkey Kong game. When was the last one? Like years ago. And then I'm watching this direct. I was like, it's Donkey Kong, so they'll probably just slip him in the middle. I was not expecting it to be at the very end of the direct.
Yeah,
but again, it is a very momentous moment.
It is. Oh, I mean, especially if you have that team working on it too. That's
like
huge.
especially like people, because I know a lot of people are hardcore Donkey Kong fans. Like one of my favorite YouTubers who plays like Pokemon games and stuff, he lost his shit when he saw that it was DK, and he thought for sure, was like, nah, man, this is Odyssey 2. Because like you could tell, like he's like, man, I would like to see a Donkey Kong game, but I doubt it. I mean, I heard about the redesign.
He flipped his shit.
Oh my god, he lost his shit, and it was so funny. And that man went through a rough week the week before, but he's doing better now. But yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. So the last part of this, or the last game that I think piqued my interest, it probably piqued yours, is this new Souls game, Dusk Bloods.
Yeah. I don't know how much money Nintendo had to pay Miyazaki to get the next game after Elden Ring exclusively on the Switch.
On the Switch, yeah.
That's ballsy.
Yeah, I mean, like it looks
considering the last exclusive Dark Souls game was probably arguably the best Dark Souls game, being Bloodborne.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. But you know what? I'm not as big into the Souls game. You're probably way bigger into the Souls games than I am.
Not really.
I like, I like The Witcher.
I've tried my damnedest to play Dark Souls 3. My first one was 2, which is a mistake because 2 is awful.
Yeah.
3 is good. wasn't a big fan of Dark Souls games. And then Elden Ring came out, and I put in so much time into that game, and I loved it. I tried playing Sekiro. I couldn't. I just didn't like it. I know that's sacrilege to Soulsborne players. But
well, no, I don't think it is. But
the Elden Ring was great. The Shadow of the Erd Tree was amazing. I still love that in my friend group, I was the very first one to beat Melania solo. Suck it. I know who you're talking to. I know who I'm talking to.
But the Duskbloods looks, I mean, like I said, I'm not, when I saw it, I was like, okay, it piqued my interest more than, you know, some of the other stuff. But
first thing I thought of when I saw it was Bloodborne coming to the Switch, which in my mindset, I was like, if that happens, Xbox players will riot.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like,
I thought it
will
was
riot. Is it even on PC?
What's that?
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne? I think it is.
I don't think it is.
It's not?
I don't know. I don't think it is because Sony's very like restrictive of all the stuff they put on Steam. I don't think
that's interesting.
I'll look it up real quick, but yeah.
Well, I like and the trailer for the Duskbloods,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't like. I'm intrigued, but it didn't like win me over. Like, oh, this looks like the next Witcher, you know, or like whatever, you know, like something like really, really special to me. Like, I'm excited that people who are going to be getting the Switch 2, which is probably going to be a lot of people, will have a Souls-like game as an option.
Yeah, and I think someone made a good argument. By the way, it's not on Steam.
It's what?
Bloodborne's not on Steam.
It's not.
No,
wait, you said what did you say?
I said
PC. You said PC. Yeah,
it's not on Steam.
Okay.
I imagine you could port it over, but yeah. I heard someone make a good argument saying for Duskbloods is a good way to introduce people who play the Switch exclusively to Dark Souls.
To Dark Souls, yeah. 100%.
And even if they don't like the Duskbloods, Elden Ring comes out with it.
Right. Well, with that, this leads us into the pricing of this stuff. Okay, so we've got, I mean, I got some shit to say. I know you probably got some stuff to say about this as well. Man, dude, the backlash that Nintendo has been getting
it's
after
not looking good for them.
So they announced the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to start at like $449.
I think that's reasonable.
100%.
I think that is
1000% with you.
Considering the Switch was only $320 when it first came out.
Yeah.
I think being $460 with all the upgrades and the fact that you can play Nintendo Switch games on it, I think that is completely fair.
And it's still cheaper than the Xbox Series X and PS5.
Yes, it's still it's still cheaper. I think it's still cheaper than the Steam Deck because the Steam Deck's $500.
Yeah, or something. And so you can get Mario Kart World. And so we're going to talk about Mario Kart World and what they're doing with this. But like, yeah, I'm 100% with you. The people who are like tripping about
the console
being $449. No. Look, guys, I mean,
because you're going to spend more money on the games than the console itself. You'll make the initial investment for the console, and then you'll just buy the crap out of the games, which is why I was always curious, like, why aren't games more expensive than consoles?
Okay, and so this leads us, because I think that there were a lot of people were upset about the price of the Switch, but I think what really got people was the price of the games.
Yeah, I think
that blew the lid.
That I have a problem with.
Okay, yeah, all right. So let's talk about this. So okay, we have Donkey Kong apparently is going to come out at $70, but you have Mario Kart World coming out at $80. It's going to be a different price if you get it as a bundle.
This is why I recommend buying the Switch 2 with the Mario Kart bundle, because even still, it's just barely under $500.
Yeah,
which I think is totally worth it. You get a brand new game that comes out with the console, and it's still under $500, which I think is amazing. So the big problem is that first party games, aka anything made with Nintendo's like a watermark on it. So like Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, Pokemon, all that type of stuff is going to be running $80 digital and $90 physical, which a big problem with the physical is there's no game data on those physical cards. It's just a key.
Yeah, they're trying to force everybody into the digital stuff, which almost. I mean, that's what it feels like.
I get why, like, you're not putting any game data on the cartridge anymore. Because for one, putting all that data from a game onto a tiny cartridge can't be easy. Especially like Nintendo's track record of trying to condense games into cartridges. It's just not gonna work. So I understand why. I don't know why it's still $10 more.
The physical copy. Yeah. I think it has something to do with them trying to push everyone to digital. But do you have okay, so for me, I don't have a problem with the price increase for Mario Kart World, and I'll tell you why. I know a lot of people have an issue with it going up to $80, but listen, here's the deal. So guys, if we go back, we could go back to Halo 2 or Halo 1. These games, it was almost like a standard across the industry that it was for a AAA game, it was $60, $59.99 to be exact. Yeah. And it was like that for a very long time.
Oh, yeah, it was like,
with inflation and everything else, it stayed the same price. Yeah. Now, more recently, last couple of years,
it's been going up to like 70s to high 70s.
Yep, it's going up to like $70. I think Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was like $70 for like their standard edition or whatever. Yeah. I think the reality is, Jeff, is that people they weren't expecting Nintendo to be the ones to do this. They thought it was going to be Rockstar. And I do think that GTA is going to probably continue resetting the market. I think that this is leading us into a untapped realm of gaming. Yeah. What I mean by that is, you see how Nintendo, they're like, okay, we set Donkey Kong at 70 and we're setting Mario Kart World at 80. I think what's going to happen now is, back when like the original Xbox to the 360 to the Xbox One, it was almost like all the AAA game developers were all on the same level, like in terms of, yo guys, the cost of the game is $60, $59, and it was like an agreement. Now I feel it's about to change, where it's like, no, our Mario Kart World is going to be, this is just whatever. However they decide to put certain games into like certain categories of price, I think we're going to start seeing, I don't believe that because GTA 6 is going to be, say, $100, I don't think that means that all the other AAA game developers are going to make their games $100. They might try, and they're going to probably fucking fail.
So here's the thing with what increases gaming prices for me is, if they do this, they release the game, like for example Mario Kart World that comes out and it's $80. I know they are talking about lowering the prices of stuff because of how much people hate the prices.
Yeah.
So they might go down, and I can probably see Mario Kart World being like 75 to 80, around that area. I can totally see that. But here's also the big problem is, if the games are still $80, what happens when a DLC comes out and they charge you 30 to 40 for like a pack of skins, which that is where I think problems will rise even higher. Because if you pay, like, for example, I think in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could pay for like a DLC pack, and you got like special characters. They really didn't do much to stats, but it was just like a comfy little skins. So if they do that and make it $40, people will be fuming.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you're right about the DLC thing. That's something that they're going to have to for sure figure out, unless they make it like you pay the 80 and the DLC comes with it. Now, they're not giving us that indication, at least from Nintendo. I don't know if others will try to say you get all the DLC that comes out for this specific game or whatever.
Honestly, what I think they should do is what Capcom does with Monster Hunter. I think it's a very good thing to do, is that Capcom, they release Monster Hunter, and then they release free title updates throughout the game's life cycle. And then at the end, they usually cap off with like this really cool boss or something like that kind of like shifts the meta every now and then. Not only does it free, it pulls players back to your game to try new things, to see what else has been added to the game.
Here's the second part though, Jeff, that the reason why I'm okay with the price increase, like, I don't think that all games need to be $100, like if GTA 6 does that. But here's the thing. Did you hear about the leak that came out about how much it cost Rockstar to make GTA 6?
No, I have not.
They're saying it is $1 to $2 billion to develop to develop GTA. So guys, listen to this.
I mean,
Okay, if it's okay, because GTA 5
yeah,
was there, the estimates based on company earnings and stuff from in reports from Rockstar was 200 million to make GTA 5. GTA 6, they're saying 1 to 2 billion. Now it's a leak that came out. We do not know for sure. We're going to find out at some point during the quarterly reports. So what I'm saying is, let's just let me put it to you guys in context here. Let's say the game stayed at $60, right? And the cost of development is going up, and we're talking just development. Now, I would probably say that the budget that it cost Rockstar to make GTA 5 is what they're going to spend on marketing alone, 100 to 200 million for sure.
Yeah.
So you're talking 2.2 billion dollars to make this game, and they're going to make the money back even if it was $70. But what people don't understand is if you keep the price at say 60, well, what's going to happen is these development like companies are going to think to themselves, well, you know what, we're going to have to cut costs in certain areas because we can't pay all the salaries, they can't do all the things. So what's going to happen, guys, is you're going to get lower quality games that are coming out, and they get plugged in on Xbox Game Pass, which we talked about the last episode of the Dark Zone. It gets plugged in on Xbox Game Pass, and then you start getting these games similar to Netflix where there's just like a void of shit, you know? And so that's where I get concerned. I want really good games, and I'm willing to pay for really good games. Yeah. But
with the rise of low quality games, you never know when a diamond in the rough is going to happen. Yeah. Because you have, especially, not to mention with prices going up, cheaper games are going to become more popular. Prime example being Lethal Company. It's a pixel-like game that is ridiculously fun for people who like getting scared. Yeah. Then you have Repo, which is I've seen blowing up as of late.
Repo's sick.
Yeah, I love Repo. I think it's funny, just these little robots that can just shrink down to frisbee discs be tossed around and stuff. I think it's funny.
Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, and then you have what's that one? It's a weed game that's just been blowing up on Steam.
Oh shit.
I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, that game's been blowing the fuck up. As far as like people playing it, it's just been nonstop people playing it. And it's kind of funny. It's not you just making drugs, it's like weird drugs. Like you can make weed that makes you blow up. Stuff like that.
I love it.
It's dumb fun like that, but that's what happens when like the AAA games come out and they raise prices. People are going to flock to these cheaper games because they can afford them, which is
fine. That's the double-edged sword of it, right? I mean, like, you know, and I think that's part of the game development, you know, or the game developers and publishers that are making these games. They've got to make very calculated decisions on, well, because we have this great IP like Assassin's Creed, we're going to make it $100. Dude, no, you're not going to do that. No, you are not. Like,
all you're going to do is just piss off what fans you have left.
Right. And so I think it's like game to game basis. I think now we're getting into, like I said, a time within gaming where even the game developers of AAA, you know, studios, they are changing prices of each individual game, like Donkey Kong versus Mario Kart World.
I'm going to say this. Nintendo is in a very, I wouldn't say, they have the spotlight right now as far as them setting the new standard, because they have two options. They could back down and lower the prices of those games by like 15 to $10, which again would be fine. But if they don't and they keep them as they are, that's going to shake the industry as a whole. Because there's always going to be those groups of people, there's always going to be those types of players, and there's always going to be those types of gamers who won't care about pricing and then just buy it. And that's probably what's going to help lean Nintendo into option B, is like with whatever the price is, people are still going to buy it. Yeah. Which will suck for like the common gamer.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not really a lot of comfort gaming anymore, which is a shame.
But I will tell you that I think they've got the spotlight right now, but
Yes.
GTA, Rockstar is going to get the
Oh, they'll
spotlight
sweep
very soon.
They
And
will
so
sweep that.
I think Nintendo is just going to hang tight once GTA 6 gets there, because apparently at the end of this month they're releasing a new trailer, and they're
Yeah.
probably with the release date. And I think that they're just going to kind of hold tight. And then because once GTA, now if what would be the craziest shit ever is if GTA 6 gets announced at $70. Like, can you imagine, bro?
I can see it to be 80 to 200.
Dude, that would be absolutely hilarious. But anyways,
But
you
yeah.
know, with that said, guys, we'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below.
One more thing about Nintendo is, did you see what they're doing with their old games that are getting like the Switch 2 upgrade?
Yeah.
I think that's cool. I mean, depending on how much those upgrade packs are going to cost,
Yeah.
I think that will depend on people buying it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting to hear from all of you guys what you guys think about the Nintendo Switch Direct, what you think about the Switch 2, Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong, the Dusk Bloods, and then, of course, the pricing. We'd love to hear guys' thoughts about it in the comment section down below, and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. The next thing we want to talk about here. Okay, so Jeff, this is definitely going to be more relevant to you because I have not seen the movie yet, but
Yes.
Minecraft. So, I have always been like fascinated by Minecraft as a game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, really interesting. We've got a number of people that come into Zero Dark during like after school that play Minecraft.
It's mindless fun.
Mindless fun.
It's
And,
it's the same reason why like a lot of like survival games are really fun, especially like games like Minecraft where there's no real objective.
Yeah.
It's just mindless fun. You can do anything. I think that's the one thing that Minecraft has over a bunch of other like survival games, is that the options are limitless.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want.
The only thing that, like, at least I've been trying, like, every once in a while, I get a kid in here that wants me to play with them, and I'll play with them, and we jump into each other, the same world, but it takes a minute to find each other. You have to go through the coordinates, and then you like figure out where each other is.
It depends on if you
like you're
both,
creative or survival or
well,
whatever.
yeah, that too, but also it depends on if you start that world at the same time. If you start the world at the same time, you spawn like right next to each other.
Okay. Yeah. But anyways, so Minecraft is a fascinating game, and
Not to mention profitable. It's the most profitable game in history.
yeah, it's insane. What's his name? Notch?
Notch, yeah.
Notch is making a new game, actually, which is, he's saying that is going to be like a spiritual successor.
In his words, he says he's going to make a spiritual successor to Minecraft, and if it doesn't succeed, I don't know what to tell you. I haven't made a game in 20 years.
Well, anyways, Minecraft has just absolutely been one of the biggest games on the planet for a long time.
Yeah.
And they come out with the movie. Yeah. And then obviously a lot of the trailers came out. A lot of people were like, oh, dude, this looks like trash and whatever. Well, the movie comes out, and man, was it a global smash hit.
Yeah.
What did you think about the movie?
I loved it because if you go into the mindset of just this is gonna be a kids movie and you just want to turn your brain off and listen to the dumb jokes, that's probably the mindset you want to go into it. But man, I'll tell you this: the funniest thing was not even the movie; it was the crowd of people who were watching it.
Yeah,
because like you would. Like certain movie moments in the movie would happen that happened in the trailer, like Chicken Jockey or Flint and Steel. There'd always be a group of people in the back just like yelling that at the top of their lungs. Unfortunately, one guy got very, very inspired by Flint and Steel and did not go well for people. I'll just say that.
Well, I saw something like a movie theater reaction, something with the chicken, and then like they show it on, like they show whatever Jack Black and whoever on screen, and then they turn and everybody is flipping the fuck out. They got one guy's on top of another dude's shoulder. He's got like a chicken mask. Oh, they're throwing popcorn.
Yeah,
bro,
did you
it was
hear
insane.
That cops were stationed in movie theaters to ask people to leave if they were being too destructive?
Really?
They would arrest people.
I would believe it, yeah, because I mean, I was thinking that you would just have a bunch of kids watching.
No, there's a good
Minecraft.
chunk of adults in those movies because Minecraft's been around for like 15 years.
It has, yeah, you're right. Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of like that, like you said, mindless fun, people like whatever. I have not seen the movie yet. We were
Oh,
talking
it's
about
so
going in.
good.
We were talking about going in, seeing it with the
it's
kids.
so funny. It's so funny.
So it's worth watching, even though it's kind of cheesy.
It's very cheesy, like very cheesy. Jason Momoa as a character is really funny. I don't know why he's in that movie, but I do not care. It's funny. He plays as like, because I think in the game, in like the movie, they were trying to like, each character is a different aspect of the Minecraft player. You have Steve, who is the veteran, who knows pretty much everything about the game and the lore. You have Jason Momoa, who is the guy who's never picked up Minecraft in their life. Then you have the kid as the main character, who is like the really creative type person who just likes to build gnarly stuff. Then you have his sister, who is more of just like explore, all that type of stuff. And then you have the last character who just wants to have everything as a pet. It's cool.
So you recommend it though?
Oh yeah, I recommend it to anybody. It's a fun movie.
That's awesome.
My favorite joke is at the very end. I'm not gonna say it, but it's a really funny joke. It's dumb, but it's funny.
Do you think they'll make another Minecraft game? Like
Mojang?
Yeah.
They are.
Are they making a sequel?
They're making a spin-off.
Oh, a spin-off. Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be
I
like,
didn't know that.
Yeah, they're making another spin-off. It's kind of like Minecraft Dungeons, which that was fun. I actually enjoyed Minecraft Dungeon. I was very sad to see it go.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play it. I saw other people playing it. But
I thought it was a lot of fun. I did. But
you think they'll do like a Minecraft 2 or whatever? No. Okay.
No.
I didn't think so.
No. There's nothing you can do.
But a spin-off would be interesting.
They've done a lot of spin-offs.
Yeah.
You got Minecraft Story Mode, both seasons, which are fun and great. Then you have Minecraft Dungeons, which is great. Then you have Minecraft Journeys, which is kind of like I think it's more of just like, it's not like Civ where you have troops and stuff, but you just gather an army to go fight the Nether, which is cool.
I've never played that one.
Yeah, it's all right. I've seen some gameplay, but it doesn't seem too interesting. Like as on paper, it probably sounds a lot better, but in actuality, it's just not that fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they do. And do you think that they would ever do kind of like what they did with what Valve did with like CS2, where they upgraded the graphics and everything? Do you think they would ever do something like that? They're doing that right now. Are they doing it right now?
Yeah, they're doing that right now.
Because I was going to say that would be one thing that would be really cool to see, like just the graphics elevated slightly within Minecraft. That would be really cool. Not to mention
Minecraft is they very much support their modding community.
Yeah,
they fully support their modding community. The fact that they've even put mods on console now, which is great.
Yeah,
some of the most well-known mods are on console, like Tinker's Construct, where you can make custom weapons and tools and stuff with different materials and stuff. It's very cool. And then they made their own free DLC that just adds a bunch of stuff from the movie.
That's awesome.
You play as Jack Black Steve if you wanted to.
Really?
Yeah, you can.
That's hilarious.
It's funny. It's a good movie. I recommend it.
Well, question is for you guys. What did you guys think about the Minecraft movie? Have you guys seen it? What do you guys think about the future of of Minecraft as an IP, from the games to the movies, things of that nature? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And with that down, let's talk about this, Jeff. We were, our last topic here is about, okay, you and I have talked on multiple podcasts together about our, like, one of the games that we would love to see, and there's probably a few games from Capcom we want to see, a continuation of Resident Evil, of course, continued support of Monster Hunter.
Yes.
But DMC, Devil May Cry, we talked about Devil May Cry 6 and the hopes of this game coming out. You hope that DMC comes to Monster Hunter.
It most likely will, from the hype of the show, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, so the show.
Yeah.
So the Devil May Cry show, I'm not sure when this is coming out.
It's out.
Oh, did it come out already?
It's all out. All of it. The full season's out.
Holy shit!
It's 8 episodes long. They're like 25 to 30 minutes long.
Okay.
And it's great.
I got to go start watching it tonight.
Yeah.
Wait, did you see it yet? Did you start?
I watched it all.
You watched all of it? Is really good?
Yeah. There's a really good scene with Pop Smoke in the background.
Yeah.
Papa Smoke is so good.
So it lived up to the hype.
Oh yes. The only thing I'll complain about is the CGI. At some moments it was meh, but the way CGI is animated, it flows well with the art style. So I'll say it's pretty good. The story was great.
What did they do you know what like storyline they
It
followed?
takes place, I think, in between 3 and 4. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check with a buddy of mine who's very much into the DMC lore.
Yeah.
But because I know he's got his Devil May Cry 5 outfit, like that jacket, it looks really good. But so I'm curious where it takes place in the time frame. Fun fact, I didn't know this until I looked it up. There's the vice president who in that show is voiced by the Arkham Batman. It was his very last role before he died.
Really?
Yes.
No way.
And
Wait, who did he voice?
He voiced Arkham Batman.
No, I mean in the show.
Oh, the vice president.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you got all the characters, you got all Virgil to Dante to
the music.
It's killer.
Fun fact about the music. The album that was used for the show that was made by the guys who made like the DMC music and all that type of stuff, they have not come out with an album since the last DMC game, and then they make a whole new album for the show.
Well, dude, Netflix has been, and
Netflix has not missed when it comes to video game TV shows. I refuse to have anyone tell me otherwise. They have not missed.
They're crushing it, and so like with like the video game stuff, yeah, I agree with you. And like I saw the. I believe it was Netflix or was it Hulu? One of them announced the Killer of Killers, which was the anime Predator, which is like, dude, that
I saw that.
Dude, I saw that. Look like
it looks so good.
It looks incredible. And then Love, Death, and Robots got renewed for a new season. Have you seen Love, Death, and Robots?
I have. I didn't know they got renewed for a new season. That's gonna be great.
Season 4, yeah.
I want Secret Level to get another season.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would love to see Secret Level get another season.
Did you see Arcane, or what was it called?
Arcane? Yeah,
Arcane.
I have not seen Arcane. As much as like everybody I know who has watched it, they say you gotta watch it. I was like, I'm not a big League fan.
Yeah, neither am I. But Love, Death, and Robots is my shit.
Oh, I love Death, and Robots.
Dude, that was so good.
It's good. One of my favorite episodes from it is where it's the soldiers and it's a werewolf soldier.
Oh yeah. Wait, are you talking Love, Death, and Robots?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I said this to my friend. I was like, this would be a great show or great video game because it's so hard to get a good vampire or werewolf game or show or movie. It's just so hard to do.
Dude, I loved the first season 1, episode 1. You remember the two main characters, whatever, they're like fight each other, like they're controlling those like gods, but like monsters. I thought from that one to like the episode where what was it, like the farm, they're like protecting their farm and stuff. Do you remember that? Yeah, dude, they have absolutely, I love that they change up the kind of animations, and then on top of that each episode is different. And I agree with you. I think it could be a really interesting video game.
I would love to see a good werewolf video game. There's a good vampire game that's coming out soon. I do not know what it's called. My buddy keeps recommending it to me. I've seen the trailer and it looks very interesting. You're playing as a character who wants to get revenge, and he decides to do whatever he can to get power. So he eventually, as he's about to get executed, he sees these quote unquote vampire like people, and he wants to get their power. So they actually end up recruiting him or some sort. I don't know. But the cool thing is that each vampire in the game comes from a different point in history. So you get to see like a Japanese one, or like a Chinese styled fighter who uses karate and all that type of stuff. Just each vampire is from different walks of life throughout the world, which I think is cool. It definitely has me interested, because one of my biggest disappointments for werewolf/vampire video games was Werewolf. I thought it would be so cool to be like a kick-ass werewolf that just slashes through things, but then they try to like play off as like you're an eco warrior who wants to destroy companies because they're destroying the forests. I was immediately turned. I was like, oh, I want to kill things.
Yeah.
I don't want to be this righteous eco warrior.
Well, talk about a vampire movie. Apparently, Sinners has 100% on Rotten
I was about to
Tomatoes.
say, Sinners looks interesting.
It looks
It's
crazy.
in my eyes. I did not know it was about vampires until I watched the trailer in theaters. So I was like, those are vampires. You cannot tell me otherwise that those guys are vampires. I thought it'd be like cult
Mhm.
things or just be plain racist people in the South. Once I saw those teeth and the blood, I was like, those are vampires.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to see Southern vampires instead of like, the typical regal, dapper, very refined type individuals. These motherfuckers are savages.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks pretty intense.
I think it's going to be good.
Do you think, okay, with the DMC show, do you think that this is like, with its popularity or whatever, do you think that, do you think this has any bearing on them continuing the series from a video game perspective, or were they just releasing this because of the popularity of the series? Do you think they wanted to test the waters? Like, okay, if the show does really good, then we know everybody wants another DMC game.
I know everyone wants a DMC game because
I know.
one of the most things that people
That's what
talk
I mean.
about, like the one things that people like about DMC is like how funny it can be sometimes, and just like the characters in general are just like, especially Dante himself, very nonchalant, very lax character, but just kind of just rolls through the situation with the wind.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with one of his weapons called Dr. Faust. Just it's a cowboy hat that makes him grow as soon as he puts it on, a scarf appears on his neck and he starts dancing like Michael Jackson. As soon as he gets the hat, that's all he does. It's just like, it's funny. And like
but they are all cool.
Yeah, they're all cool.
They're all
Like,
just like cool. Like,
yeah, and especially like with Dante and Virgil themselves, like they are literally, they cannot be more opposites of each other as personality. Virgil being refined, toned, serious, very intense character, while Dante being the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And then you have Nero in the middle.
Yeah. They got some great
I'll say this, Nero's
man.
weapon is probably my favorite. It's a motorcycle-inspired sword.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's such a
he's
cool sword.
Yeah,
I
he's
love
awesome.
Nero.
I love all the characters, man.
I thought he was Dante's kid at first, but he's actually Virgil's, which blew me for a loop. I was like, okay.
Yeah, dude, I gotta go back and because I gotta go back and play all these games, dude, or all like kind of like get me caught up on like, because I started playing DMC when it was
my buddy's gonna hate me for saying this, but
I think it was DMC 3,
yeah,
or 4.
I originally started like, because I've never played a DMC game before, and then my buddy's like, you should play DMC 5. It's like it's like really funny. There's a lot of cool points. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll give it a try. And you're like, why not? I'll stream it. I streamed it for like 3 sessions and then I stopped because other stuff came out. And then to this day, he's still mad about me not finishing it.
It's a really good game, man. And I'm excited to, I'm hoping that they greenlight, or if they haven't already, a new DMC title.
Yeah. I still think this is back to Monster Hunter, but yeah, with the hype of this show and the success of it, I have no doubts in my mind at the end of the month, the Capcom collaboration is going to be DMC.
Yeah.
If they do Street Fighter, people are going to be pissed. People will be pissed.
Yeah, I think DMC, I think it probably, like, it's reasonable to expect that for sure.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. But with that down and out of the way, guys, have you guys seen the Devil May Cry show? Let us know what you guys thought about it in the comment section down below. And what do you guys think about a new DMC game, DMC 6? I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Where do you guys hope that it's, like the setting to the characters and all of those different things? Where do you think the franchise is headed? Jump down to the comment section down below and let us know your thoughts.
Also, if anybody is interested in a show that's in the DMC universe, I recommend this D&D campaign I stumbled upon. It's by these guys called Nat 19. They are hilarious, and they did an entire DMC inspired campaign that was actually really good. Had a lot of really funny moments, and it had its own unique story just set in the DMC universe. I recommend it to anybody who likes DMC.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And with that down and out of the way, guys, that's going to do it for our episode of The Dark Zone. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Jeff, how can people find you, brother?
They can find me on my Twitch at jthek0518. And also, starting next, probably starting, I want to say tomorrow, hopefully, in honor of a very recent achievement in human history where we brought back an extinct species, I will be streaming from beginning to end the entire game of Ark Survival Ascended.
That's
And
awesome, man.
it's a game that I'm very knowledgeable in. It's a game that I very much love, and I would like to have another excuse to play through it again.
That's awesome, brother.
Lock in for another 400 hours of building.
Well, guys, jump down to the description down below. Jeff's information will be down there that you guys can check out his Twitch and all of those things. And I hope all of you guys enjoyed this episode of The Dark Zone. And if you guys did, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, just keep grinding. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.
Later, Gators.